All right, we in the previous class we have learned about the types of teeth, that is known as heterodont, homodont, and we have also come to know about the milk teeth and permanent teeth. Today we are going to learn different types of teeth. All right, so we just have to know the function and the structure. So there are four types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. So let us understand incisors. It helps, the function is cutting and biting and 8 in numbers. Canine, whenever canine, carnivorous animals. It helps to tearing the food. It helps to tear the food, tearing the food or tear the food, tearing the food or tear the food, same thing. And 4 in numbers. Premolars, located before the molars. Okay, they guide food back to the molars for chewing. So premolars do that, and it also helps in grinding and crushing, and there are 8 in numbers. Just remember in premolars a very important point, that it has a heel-like process or cups on the surface, hence it is known as bicuspid. Bicuspid, remember that. A heel-like project or cusps on the surface, hence it is known as bicuspid. Okay, now next is molar. Located behind the premolars, it helps in chewing and grinding, and 12 in numbers. Okay, 12 plus 8 is 20, then we have 4 is 24, and 8 is 32. We have 32, that is including wisdom tooth also. All right, so different types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Just remember the functions. Simple. All right, now we need to know about human dental formula. Remember the ratio, always remember 2:1:2:3. You have this on top, and down below the jaw also you have the same thing. Now human child, when you are 2 years old, so 2 means 2 incisors on top, 2 below, 1 canine on top, 1 canine, premolar 0, premolar 0 down also. So, and molars will be 2 and on top of your jaw and 2. So this will give you 20 milk teeth. Remember that. In case of adolescents, we have incisors again 2, that is 17, between 17 to 20 years adolescent. So canine will be 1 and 1. All right. Premolar will be 2 and 2. Molar will be 2 and 2. Remember the formula. Human adult will be 2:1:2. That is 4. Okay, when you add all this, you will get 32 permanent teeth. Okay, teeth with wisdom teeth added. Okay, so this is all about the dental formula over here. Now over here, 2:1:2, 0:2, and 2:1. You just multiply 2 and 2 both sides. What will you get? 2 to the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 to the 4. Okay, so you multiply both sides with 2, you will get 20. All right. All right. When you get 10 over here, and 10, when you add this, you get 20. Same thing, you multiply 2 on both sides, you will get 14, 14, you will get 28. So remember the trick. So ratio 2:1:2:3. Now let us understand the structure of a tooth. The tooth consists of 2 major parts, that is the crown and the root. The crown portion that protrudes above the gum line. Okay, above the gum line. This is the crown portion, part of the tooth above the gum. The root, this is the root portion from here. Okay, and you have the neck also over here. The root portion that extends into the alveolus. What is an alveolus? Do not get mixed up with that lungs, alveoli. The tooth lies in a long socket. Okay, this is a socket like thing. It is known as alveolus. So we need to know each and every part and their function. First we'll start with enamel, the hardest tissue of the body. Okay, simple. Next now, dentine. Okay, softer than enamel. All right, it's a bony material which makes up the biggest part of the tooth. runs into strands forming pulp cavity. We have strands. Okay, this will give rise to pulp cavity. Can you see? This strands runs and gives rise to this purple one that is known as pulp cavity. All right. Next, now we have a cement that can you see the red portion? Bone-like structure. It fixing the root in position. So it fixes the root into the position. Root. Okay, root, the whole root it fixes into the position. That is the cement. Next, now we were talking about dentine. This dentine runs into strands forming pulp cavity. This blue these strands they join together to form a pulp cavity. And whenever you think of pulp cavity, means it has got what? Blood vessels and nerves pass into this pulp cavity. That's why whenever you have a decay, tooth decay, it pains a lot and it affects your brain also. So instant reflect nervous system. Okay, so there's intense pain and intense you get a pain and the reflection is there. So it is to nervous system. So because it has nerves and blood vessels, that that is why we get a pain. All right. So this is all we'll be learning about the structure of a tooth.